A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. So in this channeling session, I'm going to talk about the divine masculine realizes that he has a very strong addiction and he needs to release this addiction ASAP. Now this particular addiction is a result of an abusive pattern, a painful pattern that he tries to overcome, he tries to hide it. And in order to just feel good about himself, just feel better about his life, he knows now. Like there was a time when the masculine had no idea that this is an addiction or this is a bad addiction. So this is also a result of the inner work that divine feminine is doing. Now a lot of people find it very hard to believe that inner work also helps or inner work can change situations, or do people who had blocked me earlier, are they going to really come back, or people you had blocked earlier or you had some kind of misunderstanding or negativity with, even though you loved them, you liked them, but you could not hang out with them anymore because you felt that they are very toxic or they're just not trying to grow up or they're just stuck being stubborn. Similarly with the masculine also the same thing happens. A lot of people think that how is this possible, is he going to come back or not, and they do come back, they do contact, they do talk about things that they were previously running from. But why or when does this all happen? When the inner wounds start getting healed with time. Now another thing that you need to understand is that when we are going through certain problems in our lives or we have certain challenges in our life, at that point in time, the time seems to pass very slowly. Or if it has been 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, 1 year, you would think that such a long time has passed and my life is still the same. Now you are only going to feel that way when you have not done proper inner work, or you have wasted your time in doing something else, some other things which were not inner work. And sometimes these things are also addictive patterns or codependencies. So divine feminine's codependencies and lack of self-worth or feeling that I am not good enough or feeling that I need other people. So this will have some effect in the masculine energy obviously, and the masculine would have certain addictions that he would not be able to let go. So when the feminine starts doing her inner work, or she is very genuinely doing inner work and it's having its effect, okay, it is having a good effect you can say, or if we don't want to get into the concept of good and bad, which is I think we should not, it is basically working, the wounds are healing, the energy which is otherwise stuck is releasing, the blocked chakras have started working again. And most importantly, she is no longer a person who is outcome oriented. So as long as you are going to be codependent, you are also going to be outcome oriented. But when you get out of this world of outcome, or you just do your karma, because there is nobody on this planet, not even a single person on this planet, who can live without doing any karma. Everyone is involved in some type of action. What we want to do is, what we believe in, that this action. So this is the thing about addictions. Addictions are always connected to some of our deep hidden pain and suffering and some kind of area which we don't want to face, because we feel that if I'm going to face this, or if I'm going to start doing something about it, it will hurt me even more. Because it's almost like for the feminine, she is learning a lesson. One of the key lessons that the feminine has to learn, not just in the literature, in the books, but with practical experience. Because I know a lot of feminines know a lot of things because they have read it all. So when till the time they have read it all, it's fine. But when it starts happening to them, when they have to practically fix it or practically experience it, that's when they get scared. So the feminines should never get scared, in my opinion. They should never get scared on what's going to happen to me, how am I going to survive, how am I going to live alone, I don't have anybody who really cares for me, because this stage will come. sooner or later the feminine will reach this point where she would be all by herself, where she would realize that all relationships, especially materialistic relationships, are not real relationships. They are illusionary. They are simply formalities. And for her it is going to be even more true, because she won't find people who are going to connect with her as such. In some of the cases, when I took up the readings and I spoke to those people, they even told me that we have actually taken a reading because we simply wanted to talk to someone about this subject. Because in my world, in my life, I can't talk to anyone about the twin flame journey or the ascension journey or whatever is happening to me. So I feel very lonely also at times, because I have nobody with whom I can discuss that I am going through a spiritual awakening. So this is the reason why I have taken a reading, because I really want to talk to someone who can understand me and who can have at least a conversation with me about this. Yes, there are questions too, but mostly I have read or I've noticed that these type of people have extremely advanced level questions. Their questions are very spiritual, very inner work based. They're actually going also and doing deep work also, going within quite deeply. So sometimes these situations happen and the feminine is in a lot of pain. Although one thing I'm very sure about is that once the feminine is doing the correct inner work and she has connected with source, she will handle any situation. It will be a difficult situation, it will be a painful situation, it could be connected to moving out either, or other people abandoning her or leaving her, or somebody always cooking up false stories about her, painting her as a villain, as a dark person or as a negative person. For the feminine, she might just get to know that somebody she had always loved, maybe a biological connection, a mother or a sister or a brother, an uncle or aunt or grandparents, or somebody, somebody who she had, maybe one person, maybe more than one person, who she used to feel that these people are my life, they are everyone for me, and they truly love me, they'll never leave me alone, they'll never hurt me. While doing inner work, she finds out. And why, I'll tell you interestingly, why I tell people to thank their divine masculines or their twin flame is because if this twin flame would not have run away and this separation phase would not have happened, the divine feminine would have never found the truth about her own life. She would have never found out who really loves her, who really cares for her, who is genuinely standing by her, who is scapegoating her. All these truths that really hurt her, because she is trying to find out every time I get into a relationship, or every time I fall in love, or if I make friends, or if I try to do my own business, or even if I am successful, or no matter what I do in life, I am constantly unhappy or I am made to look bad. When she thinks about the DM, she feels that it's all full of misunderstandings. He's never really understood me, he's never really got to know the real me. But why is he also acting like this? She must have also behaved in some weird ways, or she must have acted out or said something. Now she is doing and saying all this unknowingly, just as he is running away unknowingly. Okay, but when he runs away, this is the time when the feminine finds out the reason of why he's running away. The reason he's running away is not because he wants to run away. It's because she has an energy around her. That energy is making people run away from her. She has a certain type of energy. And this energy is coming to her because she has lack of love, lack of self-worth. She's not that aware. She's not that confident. Maybe she's confident in certain departments. So normally we also say that the qualities that masculine is good at, feminine may not be good at that. And what feminine possesses, the masculine does not have it. So if the feminine possesses this deep spirituality, this type of connection she has with her spirit guides or masters, and she has seen hardships in her life, she has grown through those hardships, she has grown through those abuses, but she also needs to work on herself. Like, there are different scenarios, there are different situations. Like, how do I say it here? You guys are very smart enough to understand, like, everyone is having certain situation. It may be different situation for different people, but somehow the truth comes to her, it becomes very clear to her that this type of abuse that I am going through, this type of, because if somebody has ignored her in childhood, in her adolescence, in her puberty, it's not possible that they are not going to ignore her now while she's young and she's an adult. The only thing changes when you become an adult. You have many distractions, you have many things to do, and as long as the feminine is a puppet at the hands of a narcissistic abuser or all the selfish people she knows she's been living with, as long as she is in that control, she doesn't know what's right or wrong. Only when she does inner work, only when she leaves everything, when she leaves the materialistic reality, she is extremely hurt by the masculine, she is completely lost and lonely. That's when she will realize that in reality she never really had anyone any which way. So she was always lonely, but those people were around her just as a formality, just as an illusion for the world. Obviously in the world's eye also she must have been a villain, she must not have been a great person, because that's her image, that's the projection that has been going out. A lot of feminines actually tell me, and they have been telling me, that due to inner work their image has changed a lot. They are no longer misunderstood by so many people. Earlier people would not connect with her, people would not get close to her. If she would have people who are close to her, then definitely they are only there for a purpose, they are there for some need, they want something from her, and once it's done, it's been taken, they will leave. Okay, so how many times a person can go through this torture? How many times she is going to keep inviting people in her life who are going to take so much from her and then leave once they are done, once they can take no more? This will only stop when she is going to close that vent, or she's going to plaster that, like a wall is broken, there is a huge crack in the wall, but she needs to fix this wall fully, not just by paint or not just by wallpaper. She has to plaster it, she has to open up that crack, she has to put plaster in it, make it strong, cementify it, take care of it, put water in it for a week or whatever, 4-5 days which is required, so that the plaster is strong always, and then she can put the wallpaper or the paint on it and then make that wall look nice, right? So while doing this inner work, all of these addictive behavior patterns will come out. When you are suffering, it's very sad, it's very painful, you need attention, you feel like you can't live without other people's attention. But when they discard you, so for example, you have been discarded by your own people and you fall sick, okay? You call them up, you message them, you tell them that I'm not feeling well, I need you, I need someone to take care of me. And they don't come even during that time. You are ill, you are unwell, or maybe your relationship is not working out, you're really in a mess, okay? So you think that even though they are not with me anymore, even though they have left, maybe because of the relationship or because of the connection we have, they will come to me right now when I need them the most. And the feminines even shocked or feel sad, betrayed or whatever when they don't come to her even then. Nobody comes to her rescue, she is all by herself. And this is the time she realizes that there is no point crying and complaining to such people. I have been crying and complaining ever since I was born maybe. If I was not a complaining sort of a child, maybe I must have cried because I was hungry. Maybe I must have cried because my mother or my father or some adult went away from me for too long while I was sitting and crying in the pram. And maybe I peed in my clothes when I was a baby, or I shat in my clothes, my diaper, and no one changed it for hours and hours and hours. And I was wet and I was uncomfortable. All of those things. These are just examples I'm sharing with you. In some of my therapy sessions, some people have even told me this. When they were young, when they were little beings, little kids, the parents would not take care of them, the mother would just forget about them. And there are strange ways that they told me. Sometimes I ask them, how did you get to know? You were really small, you were really young. And they would tell me, no, I found out something else and then I got it connected and blah blah blah. So whatever research they are doing, whatever investigation they are doing, good for them. Because when they find out the truth that they're as it is all by themselves, they will stop crying and yelling in front of those people, and they would rather cry, complain, pour their hearts, share their stories, whatever, with source, with God, or with somebody who can understand, somebody who can listen, and somebody who thinks that yeah, this is quite possible, this is not bullshit, this is not cooked up stories, this is not they're trying to take sympathy from me. And they also learn this thing about sympathy and empathy along the way, that sympathy is not healthy, empathy is healthy. But in our field, when we say this person is an oversensitive empath or this person is a super empath, they don't mention, that they probably have suffered from being too sympathetic towards other people. Empathy is like your emotions are not dead towards a person's pain. So when she realizes, overall, the point is that she needs to realize that she is all by herself on this planet, and if she needs help, she can ask the spirit guides, she can ask the masters, she can ask God, she can ask the angels, they'll definitely help her. But if she's going to ask the people around her, chances are high that they may not even know what she's going through. They might even tell her that we don't understand you at all. So with inner work, slowly she starts finding other people who are like her. This also magically happens even in her own life. Sometimes, like when these biological connections who are not meant for her, they start fading out, other biological connections who were hidden, who were, like they were not properly acknowledged, they will start coming up. Because in every family, all twin flames, they always have people who are either empaths, who are sensitive, who are materialistic. So all those materialistic people, she can, in just a simple conversation, she would know that this person is materialistic, this person is trying to act out with me, this person has attitude problems or arrogant, this person is selfish, this person is narcissistic, or any other quality, or this person has a mental disorder. They can easily find out that this is what is happening in this case. But it's not for our judgment. This is not to say, oh, this person is so. The only reason we need to know this is just to understand where we should expend our energy, where we should extend our time. That's all. This is not to even say that yes, I'm going to cure them all, because this is what the feminines have been doing, being an oversensitive empath or an unhealed super empath. One of the biggest things they want to do is they want to heal everyone, they want to help everyone, they want to take care of everyone, but they don't even know if that person really needs help, if it is divine timing to help them or not, if they are in the state of mind, or if they are even pretending to be in misery, or is it real genuine misery. There are many things that they learn, and they will learn. Mostly you learn by observation, mostly you learn by remaining silent, mostly you remain by listening. When you listen, observe, stay away, stay alone, be in solitude, enjoy your hermitage. When you do it to yourselves, then there will be a point where you can share it with other people, because even you need enough reserved energy to be able to share to others. And when these feminines are doing all of these things, they are able to fix it somehow. That's when the masculine on the other side, or simultaneously, he's also working because he's in karmic energies. He will also slowly and gradually, as she takes one step, he will take another step. As she fixes one problem, he will fix one problem. If she becomes more confident, not at all dependent on other people, the masculine will also start looking at her in a different way, that look, see, because we also like to hang out with people who are independent by nature, or we want to hang out with people who have similar energies with us. If the masculine's energies are not similar, they will become similar to her. Okay, but we don't want to tell you to be outcome oriented, because these things happen on their own, and people like us who channel information, if not channel, even if we share information, or if we say, okay, this worked out for me, this was pretty good, maybe it will work out for you also. We can only show you some path, we can only show you some techniques, we can only show you some tools, and we can give you this information from our personal practical experiences, that things do change. One of the biggest change that you'll have is you'll have peace of mind, and peace of mind is the only thing that the whole world is running for. Let me tell you, money cannot buy peace of mind. Nothing in the world can buy peace of mind. The only way to get peace of mind is inner work. Inner work, connection with source, clearing your wounds, healing your wounds, clearing negative energy, all these things. These are the things that lead to peace of mind. And if any person, be it a man or a woman, because the feminine energy can be in anyone. It can be in the man, it can be in the woman. Okay? So both of them are going to heal. So one person's inner work, many people say, oh, how is inner work going to change my life? Obviously, this is the only, you want to try something else has worked for you. Please go for it. I don't have a problem. If anything else works for you, other than inner work, other than ascension work, please do it. Right? Good for you. But you are here, you are listening to these channelings, you are listening to all of these podcasts or these videos or the books you are reading or the research you are doing. You're doing it because it gives you some kind of peace as well. This is a very big thing. It can bring a smile on your face just to know that there are other 10,000 people who are doing the same thing, or a million other people who are doing the same thing. I'm not the only person. In fact, one of the biggest gifts of twin flame journey is for feminines, if I say man and women, it would be better over here. So for men and women, when they find out the truth about themselves, when they realize that these relationships, these illusionary relationships are just worldly relationships. You know, I was born alone on this planet and I'm going to die alone. In between, I'm going to meet a few people who are going to travel along with me. With my experience, I will learn who to travel with and who to not travel with. And the best way to travel is travel light, travel without any baggage, travel alone, travel by yourself. When you start traveling by yourself, automatically you will meet other people also who are traveling by themselves. And this itself will give you so much energy, so much strength, so much courage that I am not alone. There are others also who are doing the same work that I am doing. And the twin flame person, whosoever it is, we need to thank this person. Whether you have contact with this person, whether this person is not contacting you, whether he is or she is contacting you, whether you are dating, whether you are friends, whether you are colleagues, or whether you are just, you feel very strangely, you feel very close to them, very attracted to them, and yet you are very asexual with them. Or maybe there's a huge age gap, but you keep talking to each other. You know, there can be so many scenarios, but this person somehow has led to your inner work. That is your twin flame. In between, the separation is extremely important. The separation, without separation, how can anyone get into union? Like, forget about the twin flame world also. Even when you're doing 5D union, you need to be in hermitage for a certain amount of time. You need to live all by yourself. You need to be in solitude. Sometimes this solitude is so infectious. This alone time is so infectious. People don't even want to give up on it. So many masculines and feminines have actually come up to a condition, or though we say it's all unconditional love, but for the worldly perspective and for the sake of their inner work, they have come up to this one condition that, you know, you live your life and I live my life. And this is why this condition also becomes eventually unconditional, because when you say to another person, you live your life and I live my life, if it suits us, then we can come together. But if it doesn't suit us, I mean, I love you forever. I'll always love you. There's no doubt in my mind that I love you, and you don't have any doubt in your mind that you love me or you don't love me, right? So you can live your own life and I can live my own life. I'll do my mission work, you do your mission work, and that's it. It's called friendly separation. You are separated also, but you are on very friendly and very respectful, respectable terms with each other, you know. And it's not even cordial. It's not like, oh, you just say hi, hello. Obviously, it's more than cordial. You like to spend time with each other. You talk on the phone with each other. You share about whatever is happening to you. Even share about how far you have come with each other, and you feel close to this person. This person loves you, and they maybe even tell you that how much they love you, how much they care for you. And sometimes you don't even need words. Sometimes you just know that this person loves me. For the advanced twin flamers, and for those who have found a great deal of peace in doing inner work, who have surrendered and probably they are in the stage of illumination and harmonization, these type of people, they see that their time is very precious, and the inner work, they don't want to leave it every day. They want to do it every day. This is something that has become a part of their life without any like earlier, when you are in the initial stages of the twin flame journey, it's difficult to get into the inner work mode. But later on, due to the grace of God, and thanks to the masters and spirit guides, and thanks to all the work that's happening on planet Earth, it's amazing, it's wonderful that this inner work process also becomes quite automatic. So if there is a masculine and there is a feminine, and they love each other, and they have found each other back again, and they are very comfortable, and they also understand, now they understand that yes, maybe I was wounded, maybe I was not healed enough, maybe something wasn't there, I did not know this lesson. Especially the masculines, when they come back after learning the lessons, they are very wise. They are very wise, and they are not scared of telling the feminine that yes, I was scared of being rejected, or I did not I liked you, I loved you, but I thought that certain things I can't do for you. I don't know why. Maybe his perception is completely different. You might see it as running away. He might see it as not being able to be with you for whatever fear, or being very sure that if I get along with this person, my future is very dark. Some decision makers who are in the life of the enabled narc, they would tell this person that if you're going to marry the feminine, man woman doesn't matter, and on the other side also man woman doesn't matter, but they are heterosexuals, or even if they're in same sex relationship, they know that one person is playing the masculine role and the other person is playing the feminine's role. Okay, that much understanding is there. So the decision makers in the life of masculines will say, if you're going to marry this woman or this man, if you're going to even date them, if you're going to live with them, they're going to make your life hell. They're going to make your life miserable. It will never work out. You'll end up in a divorce situation, or you'll end up treating each other badly and things like that. And maybe he heard all this, and the same day he calls up the feminine, and she's PMSing, or she's upset about something else that has happened to her, and she's very angry, or she's not in a good mood, and she just tells him that no, I'll talk to you later, or something. Or he's whatever happens to them, that's situational or contextual, but something happens which triggers this fear of him. I'm not justifying the masculines, I never do that, you know it, all of you know it by now, and neither will I justify what the feminines are doing right or wrong. All I'm trying to say is that two wounded people cannot have a healthy relationship, as simple as that. So your goal and your focus should be to clear all the behavior patterns that are toxic, that are unhealthy, that are coming from the space of ego. And sometimes the energy switch. So the same person who was the chaser earlier tends to become the runner. Okay, and when they are the runner, then they are operating from the space of ego, and they are also operating from the space of divine masculine, because the energies have been replaced. Even this happens. So the same feminine who was doing inner work, who was very obedient, who was very understanding, very patient, a good mother, a good sister, a good wife, or whatever roles or even if she's single, like as a single person, whatever her responsibilities were, she was doing it with inner work, and you could feel that energy, that nurturing energy in her. But now, because instead of raising her self-respect by mistake, because she's still not done it properly, she has not surrendered fully, she has swapped the roles with the masculine. Now she is the runner and the masculine has become the chaser. Okay, and she wants to go away from him, or she has her 100 other reasons to go away from him. Okay, so she is now not going to listen to anyone, because she is operating from the space of ego. She is going to constantly try to prove herself right. I am right, and having unnecessary nonsensical debates, and once people find out that they are wrong, they won't accept and admit that they are wrong. So instead of saying I am wrong, they would keep justifying that I am saying this because of this reason, I am saying this because of that reason. Okay, now if it's a female who's operating from masculine energy, and she is in a tussle with the man who's in feminine energy, then she is going to leave him for another person maybe, or she's just going to walk out on him. She's not going to understand that, this is how universe works. So when you don't do proper inner work, the universe will swap your roles, and the universe will put you in a karmic journey. We call it karmic therapy. So you are going to learn by the matrix reality, and certain things will happen to you in the matrix reality which will teach you a lesson, and then you will come back and do inner work, because you'll realize that it wasn't for me. So any which way, overall, whosoever has the masculine energy, they are going to let go of certain addictions that pull them down on a daily basis, or they're going to reduce that addiction, and they're going to realize that my life is much better when I'm following a certain schedule or a certain routine. If I'm hanging out with the karmic energies, or if I'm hanging out with the biological connections who don't serve any good to me, then I'm not going to be happy. So I need to become independent, so on and so forth. So this is where I'm going to close this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out. And thank you to our masters, to our spirit guides, to Lord Sri Ram and Sita, who are our twin flame gurus. Thank you so much, every single person, the twin flame connections, the false twin connections, the karmic connections, the biological connections, all these connections. Thanks a lot. Thank you to all of these elements that have led us to be here. Being able to surrender is one of the biggest gifts of twin flame journey. And after that, it's illumination, harmonization. But surrender will happen at each and every step. So thank you, universe, for putting us in this beautiful journey called twin flame journey, or the ascension journey, or whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to put. I'll see you soon in another one.